We saw Angel Reese play. We saw Hull play. We saw Enrique. We saw Aliyah Boston. We saw Chelsea Gray.
Did you see what Aliyah Boston did to Angel Reese? She didn't just win, she made a statement. Boston's performance was so dominant that it raised questions about comparing Reese to players like Caitlin Clark. This game wasn't just about the score, it was about Boston, proving she's on a whole different level. Let's break down how she did it, from her lockdown defense to that memorable moment with Reese. You won't believe what happened next.
She's a good passer, she's smart, she makes good decisions.
You know how they say defense wins championships. Well, Aliyah Boston just proved it. It's the first 3v3 game, and all eyes are on Angel Reese. But as soon as Boston steps on the court, you can feel she's on a mission to shut Reese down. Every time Reese tried to make a move, Boston was right there, blocking her path or pushing her off her spot. It was incredible.
Just goes, and she hit a game-tying shot to send it to overtime. She literally just goes, you know what, I'm scoring every single time on you.
Here's the twist. Boston wasn't just using strength. She was outsmarting Reese. She stayed in her face, frustrating her at every turn. Reese, known for scoring, couldn't get a clean shot. Boston's defense was flawless, always in the right place. It was a masterpiece.
Aliyah be able to step out, play away from the basket, garden, do some guarding in space. And I made a tweet, she's going to get even more comfortable doing that. She's going to deepen her bag. We saw All-Star Weekend, bro. Bringing the ball up the court, setting the table so that CeCe could get the ball and then get it back to her. And that incredible play does not happen if Aliyah's not comfortable bringing the ball down and operating in space.
Boston dominated the rebounds, effortlessly grabbing them on both ends. Her timing and positioning were flawless. It wasn't luck or an off day for Reese. Boston's physicality and intensity were unmatched. It felt personal, as if she was proving a point with every play.
Because she's comfortable from mid. She seemed a little bit hesitant to shoot the long mid.
You might think Boston's defense was the highlight, but there's one moment that took this game to legendary status. Picture this. The game is intense and Boston and Reese are face to face in the paint. Out of nowhere, Boston puts her hand right on Reese's face. The arena goes wild, fans are shocked, and social media explodes. Some fans called it a bold power move, while others thought it was too much. But here's the thing. Boston wasn't just reacting. She was making a statement. I'm not afraid of anyone. She showed everyone she's ready to take center stage.
Just being physical with her. Coach in Scout, Coach just talked about how she's relentless on the boards, and we knew that, and so just putting a body on her, making sure that even if we don't get it, as long as she doesn't get it, it's okay. Just because she just crashed the board so well and is just so focused on it.
This moment wasn't just about the game. It sparked big debates. Boston's hand on Reese's face symbolized her fire and refusal to back down. She played with the same intensity as Caitlin Clark. Every move had that energy. Clark wasn't there, but Boston didn't need her. She played with that never back down attitude. The media always compares Reese to Clark, but Boston just shut that down. It wasn't just about winning. It was about setting the record straight.
Aliyah Boston, her numbers from last year drastically dropped. I think she's averaging 13 and 8, but she's still in the National Player of the Year conversations.
And Aliyah Boston seems like the perfect type of superstar for your college team. Like you were saying before, a player who has the capability to put up 30 and 10, but she can also have really impactful games, scoring 10 and 5, and she's cool with it as long as the W comes out of it.
Boston's dominance wasn't just about playing basketball. It was a statement. She showed that greatness is about consistency and showing up when it matters. Even without Clark, Boston embodied her leadership, poise, and fire, proving Clark's legacy is alive. True greatness isn't about copying. It's about being the best version of yourself, and Boston did just that.
Okay, first of all, watching all of these women with people that aren't on their regular WNBA season teams, just have a little bit of grit, a little bit of just, pushing, shoving, a gamesmanship, but also completely 100% vibing with their teams is the most magical thing. I am obsessed with that aspect of it alone. And I don't know who else caught it, but that little Jewel Lloyd, Skylar Diggins-Smith moment where you could tell that there was definitely some feeling behind that.
Boston's performance wasn't just about stats. It set a new standard. She proved that the gap between players like Reese and true elites like Clark is about more than numbers. It's about that inner fire. As for the Reese versus Clark debate after this game, can we still make that comparison?
Clark set that WNBA record with a 19 assist game, the most assists in WNBA history in a single game. She has now reached 400 points and 200 assists in 26 games. That is the fastest that someone has ever reached those numbers in the WNBA. Sue Bird did it in 33. Caitlin Clark just did it in 26. It is insane when you think about the fact that Caitlin Clark was playing college basketball 3 months ago, and she was already setting these kind of records and has more 20-point games than all of the other rookies combined. The question was, how long would it take for Caitlin Clark to have a dramatic impact in this league? And the answer has been pretty darn fast.
You might think it's harsh, but it's about being real. Boston showed there are levels to this game and made a clear distinction between good and great. She didn't just outplay Reese. She controlled the game with unmatched composure and fire. Reese put up decent numbers, but
also run off a few three-point shots as well. It'd be great to see how Rose decides to use her.
Reese can stretch the floor.
And we've talked viewership. Now let's talk about regular season viewership, not draft viewership. Regular season viewership, it grew by 20% in 2023. It's grown by 180% now, which means it would take another 5 or 6 years to do what Caitlin Clark has done. So between draft day viewership, which is up 400% to 40%, between ticket sales, which is up 93% to 16%, between regular game viewership, which is up 180% to 20%, what Caitlin Clark has done is grown the WNBA exponentially. She did in 5 weeks.
From the Fever on Boston this year, she looks trim. So I think she's working on getting up and down the floor because the Fever want to play a fast pace and obviously want to play alongside Caitlin Clark in that way. And I am interested to see how Boston's game is tweaked at all and how you see it in Unrivaled.